Yevgeny Prigozhin rose to power in Russia from humble beginnings in St. Petersburg. After being jailed for 9 years for robbery and fraud, he became a hot dog salesman and then the man known as Putin's chef. His catering company hosted events for foreign leaders as well as President Vladimir Putin's private birthday parties. It wasn't until 2022 that Prigozhin admitted that he had founded the Wagner private military company 8 years earlier in eastern Ukraine. He'd previously denied all connections to the mercenary group and sued anyone linking him to Wagner. Mercenaries are illegal in Russia, but Prigozhin's close links to Putin and Russia's elite allowed him to bypass legislation and gave plausible deniability of any involvement in operations overseas. As well as Ukraine, the Wagner Group has been linked to military operations in Syria since 2015 and aiding governments combat rebel groups in the Central African Republic, Libya, Mali and Sudan. Prigozhin is also linked with exerting military and political influence in Chad, Mozambique and Zimbabwe.
Wagner has been so successful as a private military company that it has become essentially a franchise. And so you have different, really very distinct organizations that carry the same brand.
Wagner was an important force in Russia's invasion of Ukraine, including the assaults on Soledar and Bakhmut. Prigozhin commanded up to 50,000 troops in Ukraine, mostly recruited from Russian prisons, in exchange for a pardon. He underlined his mercenaries' victories while playing down the role of the Russian army.
Obviously, Putin has created Prigozhin. Prigozhin isn't a self-made man. He is Putin's project to create a sort of a competitive alternative military force in Russia to boost the effectiveness of the regular Russian army.
This later turned into open criticism, where Prigozhin didn't mince his words in attacking Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and Chief of Staff Valery Gerasimov for undersupplying his troops.
We have a 70% shortage of ammunition. Shoigu, Gerasimov. Where's the ammunition? Look at them, for sake.
When Bakhmut was seized in May 2023, after more than 6 months of fighting, Prigozhin and his men took a passive role, and the Kremlin began to rein in Wagner, demanding the group register and report directly to the army. Prigozhin refused, and his confrontation with Russia's military leadership reached a boiling point on June 23rd, when he was accused of armed mutiny and treason. Dmitry Medvedenko, Al Jazeera.